Hi Sagittarius, how are you? Welcome to your mid-May general reading. Thank you so much for being here. So quick little things, check the description box below for additional links to other videos to watch your moon, ascending, or Venus sign. Additionally, links to book private readings, and be sure to subscribe as well, all right? Really helps me out. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. This is going to be a general reading for you, all right? So just open messages, whatever it is that you are meant to receive at this time for Sagittarius for the month mid-May 2017. Okay. Strength speaks to depletion of spirit, or depletion of courage even. Like you're feeling quite drained, I imagine. And I know you've been through a lot, and you've been going through a lot, and there's been a lot happening, and business deals have fallen through, or they've been difficult. A Sagittarius friend of mine just was telling me about he's a real estate person, the closing of his mother's home, and just how many issues that just kept coming up. Plus a breakup, plus like 12 other things, and so you're going through a lot, and I really think that your willpower is really wearing thin, and that's no surprise. It's kind of been the message for the past 3 or 4 months for you now. Ace of Swords. Your life may really feel like there's truly a lot being unsaid, truly a lot being withheld, a lot not being understood. The Ace of Swords reverse is kind of a tough place to be, because you don't really have control over this, right? So whatever answers you're seeking to the questions that you have, it's not coming. And I think that it's frustrating, and again, it's adding to the lack of willpower, or it's adding to the lack of sustainability of where you are. Two of Wands reversed. You are quite lost for direction, and you have been. And now when I say these things, okay, it doesn't mean that you're like a lost little puppy, not knowing what you're doing in life. No, it just means that things didn't work out the way you originally intended, or the way you originally expected. And because of past circumstances, actually let me pull out the past, because of the past circumstances, and maybe there has been a little bit of a settling effect. The smoke has cleared a little bit, the confusion has sort of dissipated, but you're still not in the clear. And there was so much confusion, and there was so much to think about, and so much to do, and then there were so many tasks, and you were kind of being torn in all different directions, that maybe your original plan or your original, mindset really kind of switched gears, or it had to shift, or it was being forced to shift, or maybe you're even waiting on information or waiting on someone or something in order to make this decision, right? And so there's a lot of hiatus, a lot of waiting, in spite of the desire to move forward, in spite of the desire to take those the next steps into the next realm of whatever it is that you're doing. I really feel that we have 4 reversals coming out so far. So I think that whatever this Ace of Swords is, whatever this little bit of information it is that you need, you feel that you need, or this sense, I think that you're really confused about what happened. You're really confused about why these things happen. And it's kind of blocking you from healing from it. And I've been saying you're going through a lot. Saturn is retrograde in your sign, and it's not really letting up until August. So there does seem to be a lot of resistance in probably every area of your life. And in the big picture aspect, which Saturn is very much about big picture, in the big picture aspect, you seem to be a little bit lost for inspiration. You're not feeling inspired. You're not feeling motivated. And whatever this is that you're waiting on is kind of prohibiting yourself from really getting on and moving on, and leaving things in the past, and And this is in the near future, right? So the near like 1 or 2 months coming up. So you can expect to have some continued healing, continued dealing with what happened, maybe even some continued tough communications with someone, or in regards to an issue of some kind. There seems to be an idea in your mind that it's worth fighting for. And that's a beautiful thing, right? To find something that we feel is worth fighting for in spite of the fact that we have no idea what's going on, or we have no idea what this person's thinking, or what this party is doing, or, you know, we don't know, but yet we're still continuing to put in effort, continuing to put forth energy towards something. And I think that you think that it's worth it. And that's great, you know, to find something that you feel is worth going after and worth it, but yet there are still a lot of roadblocks, and there are still continued things that really work against you, whether it has to do with distance or people's opinions, or, you know, like little technicalities that keep getting in your way, logistical problems, and it's just like one thing after another. Very much wearing your heart on your sleeve, very much available, very much willing to work things out, willing to discuss, willing to compromise, willing to do what you really got to do. I'm happy that we pulled this out for you, how you see yourself, because I do think that you see yourself in a very genuine, you know, that you are in a very genuine place, and you are in a very caring and open-minded, like you're open to suggestions, you're open to revisions, you're open to do whatever it takes to make this situation work, or to get the deal done. Or again, it's a general reading and I'm speaking very generically. I've already done the love readings, okay, so go ahead and take a look at the love readings if that's more of what you're interested in. This can speak in all realms of life, so just apply it as you see fit. There does seem to be some broken contract of some kind, some broken arrangement, broken agreement, right? There's a huge wedge between two opposing parties, okay? And I don't know who those people are or what organizations those are. Some of you really may be dealing with, you know, really tough negotiations at work. Like I said, mentioned my friend selling his mother's home, and just the buyers were so difficult. That deal almost didn't get done. So maybe you really are kind of trying to negotiate, but you're not sure where that other party is coming from. They're kind of maybe coming back at you with things that don't really make sense, or that aren't relevant, or that seem so minuscule and unimportant, but yet they are impeding the project, the process of the project. It's really getting in your way, and there does seem to be a lack of like understanding, and also a lack of predictability, right? Like you have no idea how to project or how to predict what the other person is going to do, or what they're going to say, or how this is all going to come down. Again, you are wearing thin, all right? You are sort of questioning what's worth it, all right? 7 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, speaking very much to, you know, the 7s are ruled by the Chariot in the major arcana, and the Chariot is about private world and our deep emotions versus what we are projecting out there, okay? And you can project yourself as this pharaoh on this chariot, taking the reins and taking control, and, you know, you may very much have an outward projection and an outward appearance, but what's going on the inside is a completely different story, and a completely unknown story as well, because you aren't talking about it, you're not letting people in on it, you're not communicating. I think all in all, this is a very positive outcome, okay? In spite of your fear that you're not really going to be able to make a decision, and you're not going to be able to really figure out what it is in your life that's not fitting, and what it is with this scenario that's not working, because I think you really don't know quite how to put your finger on it. You don't quite know how to understand, or, you know, where the real root of the problem is, and what it is that this person truly needs. I'm getting some sense of passive-aggressive behavior towards you. you're a fire sign. You're a direct sign. You're a masculine polarity, right? Fire and air are masculine, earth and water are feminine. And masculine signs, they appreciate and respect directness, right? And you may be dealing with a passive-aggressive person or a passive-aggressive party who's either trying to, like, I'm getting a sense that they might try to be testing you in some way, and you're failing these tests, but it's like, well, why are you testing me? Why are you kind of pushing these buttons? Let's just hash it out. Let's just work it out, right? And find a solution. Because I think that you really are having a difficult time figuring out how to pinpoint where it is. You don't know how to fix the problem, okay? You don't know, you just don't know. And how can you fix it if they're not communicating it to you? And in fact, they may be actually aggressively trying to, it's like aggressive, passive-aggressive kind of thing is what I'm getting. And there has been a deep wedge between the two of you. There has been a deep cut. And there has been a broken, some sense of something broken. It might be mendable, okay, or fixable with the problem, with the justice and the outcome, which is positive, and it is, you know, a good thing for you to have. Gemini in the center. I'm sensing anger and frustration here, and you know, sometimes our anger and our frustration comes out in an aggressive way. I don't think that you mean to be mean, or you know, I don't maybe you're not being mean, I don't know, but I don't think you mean to be like fighting back, but it's really the only way that maybe this person truly understands, right? Or this group of people that you may be dealing with. I'm sensing like multiples of things. We have the sevens, and oftentimes with seven, even the lovers, right? There could be multiple people at play. But the only way that you can get what you need and get what you want, in spite of the fact that you don't have all the information, or in spite of the fact that you don't know what this person wants or these people need, or what it's going to take to get this deal done or to get this project underway, is to just kind of be like, okay, well, you know, kind of drawing the line, and kind of, you know, being willing to walk away, and being willing to attack the problem. You don't have the patience for it anymore. I think that's kind of the word is patience that's coming to my mind. You don't have the patience for it anymore. You don't have the desire or the capability or the capacity to sit and play these games. You need people to be on board. You need people to talk to you. You need people to tell you what they need from you, because you can't fix this if you have no idea how to fix it, right? I mean, you need to know how to fix it. There has been some form of isolation or some form of rejection in the foundational position, okay? And maybe it is because of this isolation or rejection. Now, maybe I'm getting it both ways. Maybe someone either did it to you or you did it to them, okay? And if you were the one that did it to them, it is their feeling of rejection and isolation, and maybe emotional distancing, or even, you know, on the financial side, you know, their financial... maybe they had to kind of take a little bit of a financial hit, okay? If they were affected because of something that you needed or that you did, it is sort of driving this whole thing. And there could be a little bit of anger or resentment towards you as well, because I think that you're just kind of charging forward, you're doing your thing, but this person just kind of keeps luring you back in, or the situation, it just like keeps pulling you back and pulling you back. And again, you can't keep repeating these patterns. You can't keep doing it. And I think you're at that point where you're really starting to take control and really starting to take hold of it and say, you know, and communicate what it is that you want, even though you might not really know exactly which direction you're going or what it is you do need. You do know that this is what you don't need, all right? And it is maybe this emotional distance as well that might be sort of driving this healing or this heartbreak. Maybe you are doing a little bit of hermit mode stuff, a little bit. I'm not saying the hermit here, but maybe you are doing a little bit of hermit mode, pulling away even farther, pulling away or distancing yourself even more, or withdrawing whatever resources that you've been dedicating to this situation, withdrawing the resources and just kind of allowing yourself to try to get over it. The Wheel of Fortune. I don't know whether this is good or bad. A lot of times the Wheel of Fortune is just kind of neutral, just is what it is. I think whatever happened had to happen. It is your destiny, okay? This is the card of universal intervention. So whatever it was that happened, it's officially over, right? With the Wheel of Fortune in the upright position. It's hard and you're still dealing with the aftermath of everything, but it is over. And maybe that's why your patience is really wearing thin, right? Sagittarians aren't known for dwelling. They're known for progress. They're known for hunting and adventuring and going. And they really don't have the patience for this back and forth and for these games. And in spite of how loving and caring they are, there is a limit, right? And they can't be taken advantage of. And in spite of their willingness and their desire, your willingness and your desire to make things right with the Justice here. And I know you want to make things right. And I know you don't want to be the bad guy. I don't think there was, intention really. You just were doing what you had to do. And unfortunately, someone else or some other people may have been kind of mowed down in your pathway a little bit, but it just, it's life and it is what it is, and you're doing what you thought you had to do, and or you're doing what you think you have to do. And I think you're right. You are doing what you have to do, but again, you can't keep getting pulled backwards. There may be an earth sign, okay, or this is the card of Capricorn, so Capricorn, but also Virgo, Taurus as well. Someone in your thoughts. This can represent a business or an entity as well, okay? Someone that I think that you don't intend to hurt, but at the same time, I think that there is a controlling nature from this person. I think this person, again, or this entity is maybe trying to tell you what to do or trying to dictate. They may be even really hypercritical as well, criticizing you. And that's also one thing too, is the criticism of you and telling you that your personality is one thing, or telling you that your actions were inappropriate or whatever. There's hyper criticism, and I think that hyper criticism is coming out of hurt, perhaps. It's coming out of lack of grounding, right? Like they probably are kind of up in the air as well. They probably have gone through something similar, or with you, they're going through the same type of emotions. And so they're coming out of a place of, I think, wanting to control it, or wanting to keep you there, or not really letting you out of something, okay? And out of their sense of feeling lack of control, because this is the type of energy that's willing to just walk away from something, right? It's like you're at the negotiation table. This is the type of person that's like, if it's not entirely 100% lopsided in my favor, I don't do the deal. It's got to be in my favor. It's got to be good for me. It's not selfish. It's like smart business. That's how people that are successful in getting what they want, that's how they live. If it's not good for me, then I'm not going to do it. And so I think that this person doesn't like the fact that they have been decided that they're not good for you, and maybe they're trying to tell you or show you, again, in a very passive-aggressive way. And it's out of their own insecurity, out of their own fear of losing you or losing what you have. And they are trying to tell you maybe that you have a problem, or they're trying to tell you that you need to fix something in your life. And that's definitely not going to fly, right? No one's going to tell a Knight of Swords what he or she can or cannot do. Therefore, kind of driving this moving on. So a lot of you are leaving something behind. A lot of you are leaving, and I don't know, I'm not getting like the devil, so the word toxic isn't coming to my mind per se, but when I have the Lovers reverse, I do kind of sway it toward the toxic side, okay? It's gone acidic, okay? It's like the fruit that's fermented. It's starting to go bad, and it's overripe. And I think that it's it's time, and it's just the natural progression of everything. The natural progression of everything for you, the natural progression of everything for them. They are going to be much less likely to transition than you. Like, here you are more than willing to try to make things work, but I think this person is going to have none of it. And they're really going to try to point out things that you don't do well, or point out things that are making them unhappy. And you can't be the only one that, you know, is trying to do things to make things happy. I think you've put the good fight, you've put the good effort, you've done what you've got to do, and if this person's not happy, then they're just not happy. I think you do feel as though that something has failed, or you have let someone down. In spite of your efforts to really truly make something right, you have, in essence, almost like even made them angrier, because you haven't given them really a reason to hate you, or you haven't really given them a reason to really not. Like, they're clinging and they're not letting you go because you haven't really given them a reason to really let you go. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on the sign, right? But I do see a queen, any queen in reversal, as being a little bit more clingy, all right, and a little bit less secure in themselves. And they're losing security day by day, and their own value of self-worth day by day, the longer this kind of situation goes on. And I think that you feel maybe sad or maybe upset that you weren't able to help this person in this way, but you just weren't able to, right? It was just a situation, it unfolded exactly how it was supposed to, it ended, or it turned a corner, or something changed, right, exactly the way that it was supposed to. Your environment, 10 of Cups reversed. There's definitely a sense of loss, sense of failure, loss of happiness, a loss of goodness. Like, maybe it was one step forward, 2 steps back. And that ideal and that magic and that, again, open your minds to all areas of life, okay? This is ideal outcomes, period. Ideal outcomes that did not happen, period. So whatever it was that you wanted, whatever it is that you were fighting for, whatever it is that you tried to have, or you tried to make right, you tried to make good, you tried to apologize, you tried to fix something, for naught. I don't think this person is accepting those efforts very well, because they don't want to lose the deal. They don't want to lose what was had. They want to maintain what was there. They want to maintain the contract or maintain the agreement here. And they're really unhappy with the word that's coming to my mind is reneging. The contract has been reneged. There is a sense of humility here with the 9 of Cups. I don't know why, but I've been getting the message of, like, if I can focus, getting like your tail between your legs. I don't know why I'm getting it such like a weird vibe from it, but this is kind of the energy of the month, of the generals I'm doing so far. Kind of, we're putting our tails between our legs and we're kind of going away. I mean, you definitely put up a fight. You definitely did what you thought was best. The person did not accept your efforts, so you have to just move on in spite of it. And you kind of have to live with yourself, knowing that maybe you did hurt someone, or knowing that maybe you did. Now, I don't know who this is. I'm going to pull out a whole other set of layer, okay? I'm talking a lot. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to pull out a whole other layer. I don't know who this is. I'm kind of feeling that it's you because it is connected here, but it could be, the same person here or someone else as well. She does seem to be cutting someone out. There is an essence of someone cutting someone out. So either they're cutting you out or you're cutting them out. Like I said, you already tried to fix it, and I don't think your efforts to fix it worked, and therefore it needs to be a clean break. And maybe that's what's happening here, is just a clean break. A clean walking away. It's time for people to walk away. Seven of Swords. Some sneaky behavior, something that was unsaid. Now, I don't know if you were the one, maybe, that was kind of keeping secrets, or if you were the one. I mean, there is this, okay? It seems to me that this Seven of Swords and this Ace of Swords are the same thing, right? Something that was unsaid, something that was hidden, whether it was an omission of information, okay? Omission of information, or flat out lying about information. And lots of swords in the center here. I also see that card as self-sabotage as well. Sometimes our fears and our doubts do kind of get in the way. And honestly, oh, you know what just entered my mind was, I'm wondering if the fears and doubts are referring to your fears and doubts about leaving. Are you fearful and doubtful that you made the right decision about cutting this person out, or this situation out of your life, or walking away? Are you concerned about that? And therefore, maybe you do try to linger, you do try to continue to fix it in spite of the fact that you know that it's not right for you, or that it's not a good deal for you, or it's not entirely lopsided in your favor. I wonder. Please leave your comments below. I always read comments, okay? I might not respond, but I do read them, and I'm always curious to know. Elements of balancing, keeping everything afloat. You're trying to keep everybody happy. I know that this person isn't feeling good. You've hurt someone, or a situation hurt someone, or a lack of agreement, or a lack of coming together, or a meeting of the minds. It has been broken, and it has created distance and separation between the two of you. You're trying to keep everybody happy. There may have been travel in the past as well, but it's interesting, travel or communication of closure, right? And in the future is the Hierophant. Interesting, because now this is not the card. This card is not ruled by Saturn. However, I often do kind of sense a Saturn-like quality, because they do speak to conformity and tradition and following the formula. Okay, so it does seem to be like, I'm wondering if this person wasn't, yeah, there's a level of independence here. I kind of am seeing that you are now, when I say conformity and all of that, it can mean your own personal beliefs, okay? Because I think there was a breakage with your personal beliefs here, that the life path that you were on, or the track that you were on, kind of you got detoured a little bit toward this situation, toward this person, toward whatever this was. So this was the detour. This person, the situation, that was what was this. So now this is you kind of getting back on track. And if you getting back on track means you do have to leave someone by the wayside, or you do have to cut someone out, then so be it. In spite of your efforts to make things right or to make things good, you know, they can receive it or they cannot receive it. It's not up to you. It's up to them how they take it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if they don't take it, which I'm not seeing that they do, or I'm not seeing that they accept it, leaving you kind of, I think you do want to be on your own in some way, or you do want to have that sense of independence back. You weren't happy with maybe the codependence that this situation brought you, and it is kind of a little bit of a breaking free and finding your footing. They as well, I think, also kind of want to find their footing as well and get back to normal. This representing your normal, whatever that means to you, your normal way of life, your normal tasks. Maybe you had a job that was just like so far out of your job description and so far out of your comfort zone that now you're like, okay, I'm going to leave that behind, and now I'm going to really get back to my core goodies and what I'm really, really strong at and where my strengths truly lie. Be careful of your thoughts right now. I think that you're going to have a lot of mental unrest. You're going to have a lot of mental activity. Be careful of the things that you think, and be careful of the things that you say. This can often be a message of saying things without thinking and causing a little bit of havoc because you don't think things through. So just be cognizant of that stuff, all right? I see a lot of imbalance here, and it doesn't surprise me. You've kind of had a lot of this going on. I think you're going to really start to feel that turn. This is really, really promising that this is kind of maybe something that happened over the past few weeks or will happen likely soon, where you feel that shift and you feel that transition happening, and you kind of feel, I feel like this is you getting back to normal, okay? And Temperance is kind of just your environment now. And the Chariot, remember I talked about the Chariot in the beginning? Interesting, another source. See how you like 3 cards of like, I think at some point, some of you are really going to have to go Hulk. You're going to have to go Hulk on someone. You're going to really need to go cold, go ice. Now, I'm not saying to hurt people, okay? But if you've already made efforts to try to fix something or make something right, I'm kind of feeling like there's maybe a little bit of fear of discovery of a true or a private world. Some of you may have secrets. Some of you may have things that you're preventing someone from knowing or preventing someone from seeing or understanding. You don't want them to see that side. You don't want them to know that information. You really may be keeping things from someone. And in spite of them getting closer, or in spite of the deal getting closer to being done, and you know, here you are kind of walking away or whatever. It's like, okay, let's try to make this right. Let's try to make this fair. Not acceptable for this person. Okay, well then I'm not going to try anymore. All right, good luck to you. I wish you nothing but the best. Still no? Okay, well then I'm completely ghosting you. It's kind of like a 3-step process, and I kind of think some of you are headed toward this final straw. This is the last straw, and you're getting all the, you know, the court cards, like I said. If it's not entirely working out, then I'm just going to leave it behind, and that just is what it is. Okay, so some of you guys kind of have some big decisions to make. Some of you guys have people and situations that really need to be cut out from your life, and it's sometimes hard to do, especially when you do love or care about the person, but it is a part of life, and sometimes it is just what needs to be done. And I think ultimately you will find peace in that direction. You will find peace in the way that you're headed, in the direction that you're going. So I think you've made the right decision. Like I said, this was in some way, shape, or form your destiny. The situation was your destiny. What happened, whatever this 8 of Wands was, it's like you were trying to manifest something for a while because something wasn't like quite clicking or jiving or working. So you manifested the outcome that you wanted, and maybe people got hurt, but it was ultimately for the best. And it is for the best. It's the best for you. It's the best for them. Hard feelings aside, let's be logical about this. Let's be honest about this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and let's agree to disagree type of thing, and let's just move on. So not a bad message, not super positive, but not negative either. I think you are doing really well. I think you're doing the right thing, okay? So that's it. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in a couple weeks with your love reading for June. All right, thanks. Bye.